Hello, my name's Adam Larson. I work in the professional learning department here at ESU3, and today I'm going to talk to you about accessibility in creating Google Sites. There are lots of sites that we have in various departments, and with the new WCAG standards, we need to make these sites accessible so that people accessing our digital content can do so with screen readers and in lots of other ways. So I'm going to talk about four main points for this. We're going to talk about heading hierarchy and structure. We're going to be talking about alt text for images and visual design. Then we're going to cover links, buttons, and embeds, as well as navigation. So these four kind of bullet points are going to work us through what we need to know. I'm going to be using my HighAbility website as a demonstration for these things. So you're going to see me come back to this site quite a bit as we talk through some things. So um, our standards are telling us that we have to have some things in place so that people can access our content, our websites, using a screen reader. And the way that the screen readers do this is by looking at at what is on our web page, and it looks at these different things in a different hierarchy uh, of headings. So the headings that we have, and if I'm going to get over here, so you can see I've got lots of different kinds of headings, and up here they are listed in what I am listing. So you can have normal text or titles, different things. So for up here, for instance, this is the title for this page, workshop sign up. I should only have one title on this entire page. So even if I really like the way that the font looks or the size, that's fine. You can make just normal text match those things, but there can only be one title. Then everything under that, think of this like you would bullets. So anything under that can have different headings. And the way Google has this set up right now is title is on the top. That's the highest level you can be. And then headings. You can have different headings. So you can see I need to make some changes here because right now I have these larger text listed as titles when really they should be listing as headings because that's one underneath titles. And then my larger words here, these should be subheadings. And then underneath that should just be normal text. Our screen readers read through the websites based on these headings. And so we need to make sure that we have one title, and then it follows heading, subheading, and normal text. You should also make sure that there's no gaps in there. You shouldn't have a title and then the next category that you use is subheading. Don't skip that heading. If you've got something underneath title, it should be heading 1, and then underneath that should be heading 2, and then heading 3, or subheadings or normal text. So make sure you don't skip any of those. Don't go from title to subheading, title heading, heading to subheading, subheading to normal text. Um, Themes can help us be consistent with that. You can see this button here. This will help you set font sizes and all of those things. So next we're going to be looking at visual design. So alt text. Alt text is how our screen readers deal with images. So I've got a picture of myself here on this web page, and if a screen reader was looking at this, they wouldn't be able to identify what this is. Our screen readers don't actually look at our screen and see what it is. So it wouldn't say anything about the picture. It would read the file name of the picture. So to give our screen readers something to go off of, we have alt text. And alt text just tells the screen reader what this is a picture of. So here I'm going to put Dr. Adam Larson because this is a picture of me. You don't have to be extremely descriptive. Use as few words as possible to describe the image that you have here. And if it is an image that doesn't really need to have a screen reader read it, maybe it is just a decorative image, a swirl, a flower for spring, something that doesn't give any content or context to what the web page is about, then you can mark it as a decorative image. When we mark things as decorative images, our screen readers completely ignore them. So if it is just a little flourish, or maybe it's a square that you put up there to help break up the page a little bit, or another shape, mark it as decorative. If though it is something where you want the screen reader to call out that this is a thing, then give it alt text. And I get there again, I click on the image that I want to use, I click on more editing options, and then alt text. You can put that alt text right there. If you choose to add a caption, it's going to put whatever you want right underneath it. Even if you do that, you still need some alt text on your images. Over here, this happens to be a link, which is great, but it still needs to have some alt text. And you can see here that I've called this link to ESU3 website, so that the screen reader calls out that if you click on this, it's going to go to the ESU3 website. One thing we have to be careful of is that our banners and other things that are in the background are readable, and also make sure that the text behind them is legible. And so a tool that we have to do that, I'm going to come up here to my extensions. I installed a free extension called Grackle Web Checker. You can see that this calls out all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that it is calling out is my contrast. And so I need to make sure that the contrast between the background image and my text is greater than 4.5 to 1. And here it is telling me that it is not. So I need to change those colors. Okay. Our next thing we're going to talk about is buttons, links, and embeds. So I'm going to go back to my website. I'm going to close Grackle real quick just to kind of get it out of here and reset my page. Okay, so I have a form embedded in this website, which is great. Anytime we can embed things, that's a wonderful way to do things. But you've got to keep a couple things in mind. First, if it is your form or whatever you're connecting to, you need to make sure that whatever you're connecting to is also set up for accessibility. So make sure that if you've got a website and something like a form or a connection to a Google Doc or something else, all of the things that we're connected to, those need to be accessible as well. So I need to spend some time in this form making sure that I have the right contrast and all of those other things are filled out. If you are connecting it to something else that is not yours, not owned by you, then that's okay. Just make sure that the link that you have provided goes to the right place. Also, if you connect to something like a YouTube video and it is your YouTube video that you are hosting, you need to make sure that the captions are enabled there so that what you're connecting to has the same accessibility as everything else. Okay, so a couple quick little tips here up here in my website kind of editor. One of the things that I can decide is where my navigation controls up here, and them being on the top is best for screen readers because our screen readers start at the top and work their way down. So if our navigation is at the top, then the first thing that our screen readers hit is going to be that navigation. The way you can check this is to look at your published site. And I can do that right here. I'm going to view my published site. So it's going to go to the actual website. And then I'm going to hit tab and I'm going to tab through my website. And this is just as the screen reader would read it. So as I hit tab, you can see that on my screen, the highlighted item is highlighted. So it's starting up here at navigation, and then it hops to my titles, and then it goes to my different headings, which is exactly the way I want it to have to happen. So that keyboard test is very important. Test to make sure that the things that you have set kind of flow in the way that you imagine them. And if they don't, then you have some things that you need to go fix on the navigation site. All right, that concludes making websites accessible in Google Sites.